I've been playing Minecraft for close to 10 years now. It is by far, without a question, my most played game ever. Now, in recent years, I've kind of fallen off a bit, but I still check out new updates and play on Hypixel pretty regularly. And look, I love the brand new updates. I especially think that 1.17 could massively alter the game in the best way possible, but I've got to be honest here. 1.8.9 is where it's at. To me, it's always felt like the pinnacle of Minecraft, the peak of Mojang, and there are many innovations to the gaming landscape. And there is only one singular reason for this: PvP. Now listen, this is probably the most dividing concept in the Minecraft community, but since day one, I've always found the original system far more intuitive, engaging, and even skillful because, believe it or not, there is a structure to its madness. It may seem all you do is swing wildly and as fast as possible, but a skillful player wins every time. That isn't luck. When a more skilled player wins against an unskilled opponent, literally every single time, then luck isn't involved, or at least not in a substantial way. When 1.9 came out, it was a complete overhaul of the PvP system I and millions of others had grown to love, but only on Java. See, for whatever reason, the devs opted to make this new form of player v player combat exclusive to the Java edition of Minecraft. Yes, that's right. Mojang decided to make the most PvP-intensive and competitive branch of Minecraft favor PvE. And that isn't a personal opinion either. It is simply objectively favored towards player versus entity combat. Shields block like 100% damage, gear is far more important, and overall it's a far slower PvP format. Also, having the player still able to hit opponents, even during the cooldown, is so off-putting for me. I'd much rather not even be able to attack while I recharged. Again though, this is coming from someone who's exclusively played 1.8.9 PvP for close to 10 years now, so I am at least a little biased. Yet, I still can't help but think how blatantly idiotic it was for Mojang to bring this combat update to Java. I mean, Java PvP will always be more competitive than the largely PvE-focused Bedrock edition. So why not bring it there? Originally, Mojang kept persisting that 1.9 PvP would eventually head over to other platforms, and it hasn't, and it won't. In all honesty, it just seems stupid at this point. Especially since mobile and console players have far more trouble aiming, and it having a cooldown would give ample time for players to recalibrate their aim. I mean, granted, this new system is way better for mob fights, but the majority of players on Java play with other players, so prioritizing PvE is nonsensical. I just don't get it. Also, was anybody really asking for this? Like, why even do a PvP update when the current system works just fine? It's beyond me, really. I mean, why do you think we've seen so many plugins, servers, and the Java community as a whole stick with the 1.8.9 PvP? When the biggest Minecraft server ever forces its players to use the original 10-year-old player versus player system, something's up. Even if you vastly prefer 1.9 PvP, there was simply no denying the fact that it targeted the wrong audience, the wrong platform, and the wrong combat aspects. Alright, now, other than a new PvP system, 1.9 introduced a revamped end world, new arrows, and the addition of dual wielding, which also has non-combat implications. While most people disregard the end world updates and wish for a new one, at the time, I thought it was just so cool. I remember I was kind of like staying home sick from school and logged on real quick just to go to the end to check it out, and it blew my mind. It really launched a bunch of cool end features that we take for granted today, like shulker boxes, chorus plants, end cities, and of course elytras, which are beyond awesome. Overall, if you forget the PvP side of things, 1.9 made for a genuinely great update. It's just that I can't forget the PvP. It's such a massive game-altering feature that it's impossible to ignore. Even though it's been 5 years, I still find it repulsive in every sense of the word, and continue to urge Mojang to revert back to the player versus player combat system I and countless others grew up with. even though I know it'll never happen, and I'll be forced to use an inferior version of Minecraft just for that singular PvP related aspect.